Hi guys, well we are kicking off the Intel 8th Gen Coffee Lake launch by having a look at the GIGABYTE Z370 AORUS Ultra Gaming. And if there's something which makes this board stand out here, it is the visual appearance. GIGABYTE has redesigned their entire lineup of boards and they haven't held back. Not only do we get a stunning overall theme on this board here, but if you're into RGB lighting, then this board here goes all out. Ultra Gaming is designed to tackle the mid-tier for the Z370 chipset, and so across the board we'll be seeing a good variety of features which dip into storage, data transfer, audio and more. Now in terms of the pricing for Ultra Gaming, you can expect it for around about $189 in the UK, $200 in the States, and so this won't be the cheapest Z370 that you can pick up, but it still represents something from the mid-range, albeit from the upper section of the mid-range. And so guys, as we explore this board here, this new board in plenty of detail today, hopefully by the end of the video we'll get a good idea as to whether or not it is a good buy. And so, let's begin. Okay, and this is the box that our Ultra Gaming arrives in. That's the front of the box there, as you can see, and then if we flip it over, you can see there we've got a rundown of all the features. So lighting, audio, cooling and connectivity are those significant features, and then we've got some extras running along the bottom, so we've got a lot to cover today. And then we've got the specifications for the board in the corner. And inside the box, first of all, we get the board in this cardboard tray which kind of falls apart. We have the anti-static bag as well, just to keep that nice and protected while it's on its way to you. And then inside the box here we've got all these accessories. First of all we have the user manual, which will help you get through any problems that you might have. Case badge. We've got the G connector, and that is a really useful tool for connecting up your power button and all those other things which are on your case. That helps you do that. Driver CD and the software there. Multilingual installation guide. And then we have 4 SATA cables for your storage. And then finally we've got that rear I/O shield. Okay, so here is our Ultra Gaming. Now one thing which stands in this board's favour is the overall design. The guys who have designed this board have done an excellent job in refining all of those heatsinks and the ports to make a coherent design. They've even gone as far as to place the AORUS logo on the PCB using an interlaced technique. And so across the board we have a combination of black and silver being used, and as we mentioned earlier, AORUS are very keen to get behind the latest RGB trend by decking this board out with lighting in almost every conceivable area. All of this is customizable via the BIOS or RGB Fusion software, and it definitely does add a bit of ambience to your system. Along with those RGB lights, we also get the RGB headers as well for those of you wanting to make use of LED strips inside your chassis. And just another thing to note is that this board here does conform to the ATX form factor. We're now going to move in for a closer look at the different areas of this board, so let's start with the CPU socket. This board uses socket 1151, which is primarily designed to work with the new 8th generation processors, which are codenamed Coffee Lake, such as the 8700K. Now although Kaby Lake uses LGA 1151, those chips will not work on this board, and we'll have more details on that in our CPU review. The link will be on the video. Now Ultra Gaming utilises an 8-phase power design which is digital, and we have long life black caps used throughout, and those offer up to 10k hours. Covering the MOSFETs we have a twin heatsink design. Both of those heatsinks there are independent, meaning that they aren't connected with a heat pipe. And then behind the top heatsink we have the CPU power, which is an 8-pin socket. Now for the fan headers we get 2 dedicated CPU headers, and then an additional 4 for system fans, which are located on the right edge, the bottom and the top of the board. Moving on to the memory area, we have 8 slots which are reinforced and have those accompanying LEDs. And so we have support for dual channel DDR4 with up to 64 gig, up to 4000 MHz, and XMP is available too. And it's interesting to see that GIGABYTE has gone with a dual combo for the front panel connectivity, so we have the USB 3 and we have USB 3.1 headers, which give you that flexibility for newer cases. Next up we have the storage, which consists of 2 different standards. First of all we have those twin M.2 slots, which are PCI Express Gen 3 X4. Now both of those have the metal guard there for added protection, and it's really good to see that the placement of those mean that the drive won't sit underneath a graphics card. And then we have the SATA ports, which come in the form of a block of 4 right-angled SATA 36G ports. and then 2 top facing ports. And incidentally, next to those 2 SATA ports, we have a diagnostic LED panel, which allows you to easily pinpoint any problem areas on boot up. Behind all the SATA storage, we have the Intel Z370 chipset with a rather large heatsink sitting over it, and this blends into the overall aesthetics very well. Next, we arrive at the PCI Express area, which is populated by triple PCI Express 3.0 X16s and triple PCI Express 3.0 X1s. And the modes for each of those X16s are 16, 8 and 4. And so this board can do multi-GPU configurations, although if you are using a single card, then the top PCI Express is the best one to use. While adding in another will mean that the overall mode will drop to either 8 or 4, depending on which port you go with. And you can see that the upper X16s have been given this steel reinforcement treatment just to enhance the durability, as well as being slightly thicker just to help the card sit in a better position. Immediately next to the PCI Express, we have the audio solution, which is centered around the Realtek ALC1220 codec. All of the components are isolated, and they include Nichicon and Weimar caps, and the well-known ESS Sabre DAC, allowing for 120 decibel SNR. And with such a strong focus there on the audio components, we do indeed have a superb solution on our hands here, and after testing this out we can definitely verify that. Okay, and lastly we arrive at the rear I/O section of Ultra Gaming, and this gives us the following connectivity. We have 2 USB 3.1 Gen 1 ports. These support adjustable voltage, a PS2 keyboard mouse combo port above, DVI video out, a USB 3.1 Type A and Type C port, those are Gen 2, 2 USB 3.1 Gen 1 ports with the HDMI, gigabit LAN via the Intel i219 controller, 2 USB 2 ports, and then finally we have all of the audio ports there which are gold plated, and so quite a varied selection there to choose from. Okay, well that concludes our look at the Z370 AORUS Ultra Gaming. So this board here should definitely be on your shortlist if you're planning to upgrade over to Intel Coffee Lake platform with the 8th gen CPUs. It offers an excellent blend of gaming features with the audio solution down at the bottom there, and of course we've also got an inclusion of a 1-year premium subscription to XSplit, Gamecaster or Broadcaster. The durability of anti-sulfur features on this board as well, we've got those, a reinforced PCI Express memory, and we've got surge protection for the USB, and of course dual BIOS too. And then we've got those carefully crafted heat sinks up at the top, and the overall design of this board is just very desirable. Not forgetting we also get a huge helping of RGB lighting if that is your thing. Now we found Ultra Gaming to be an excellent board, fantastic board in terms of performance. It offers consistent results regardless of the situations and the tasks that you throw at it. And actually we chose to use this board here to review our 8700K because it gave us one of the best overclocks, hitting 5 GHz at 1.38 volts, and we'll link that review on this video for you to take a look at. If you do run such an overclock on the CPU, it dramatically increases the performance, as we show in that article. And so guys, the full review for this board here is going to be on the screen and in the description very soon. Over there we've got all the benchmarks along with a look at the BIOS. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video guys. Please share it. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.